Welcome, friends, to the final antler watch for the 2022 growing season. It's been a busy few weeks here on the farm at PGP Whitetails. All of our deer have shed their velvet and the antlers are hardened off. These yearling bucks are beginning to try out their newly hardened antlers and spar with each other on these cool mornings to establish dominance. Currently, we are in the process of darting them and removing their antlers so that this sparring doesn't turn vicious as their hormones rise heading into the rutting months. This keeps them from fighting and hurting each other. We've had deer kill each other when we've left their antlers on, so we remove them for their safety and for ours. Fall of the year seems to be where time is most busy here on the farm. If we're going to have a sick deer, it's most likely going to be in the fall season. So we're careful to watch for any changes in behavior in our deer. We had noticed that Randy was showing signs of possibly having pneumonia, which presented itself as a wet-sounding cough that just lasted several days and didn't seem to go away. After about a week of treating that, we had begun to suspect that he may also have EHD. EHD is the abbreviation for a viral disease in white-tailed deer that's really formally called epizootic hemorrhagic disease. It even has been called blue tongue. This disease is a result of biting midge flies, sometimes called no-see-ums, biting and infecting them. Deer infected with EHD tend to become lethargic and weak. They may lose their appetite and sometimes show excessive salivation that looks foamy. EHD causes a deer's pulse rate to rise and a high fever for the deer as well. Other signs that we've seen are tenderfootedness, excessive thirst, and possibly a significant unexplained weight loss that happens over a short period of time. Not all symptoms are seen with every deer. Some deer present a few symptoms and others present a full range of symptoms. Left untreated, most deer die within just a few days. For us, we noticed that the months of September and October seem to be the worst on our farm, and we try to be especially diligent in really studying each deer, looking for any changes at all in behavior and their stature. When Randy presented with symptoms of EHD, we knew we would have to medicate him. In order to do that, we have to dart him and put him to sleep. Since he was going to be sedated, it was best for us to decide to go ahead, measure out his antlers, and remove them so we didn't have to dart him a second time a few weeks later in order to remove his antlers. We just decided to do everything at one time in order to protect him and give him the best chance of recovering from EHD. Now, once a deer is darted, it takes several minutes for the deer to go down. This part of the video is sped up and just literally takes seconds, but in reality, it can take anywhere from 5 to 10 to 15 minutes. Some deer go down pretty easily, but not Randy. Here, you'll see him, he'll begin to drop his head, he'll shake his antlers, and he'll try to stay up on foot before he'll lay down. And there's no guarantee that he or any other deer will stay down once they do go down. Sometimes they fight against the sedation. As you'll see, Randy gets up, he's going to stagger around and eventually lie back down again. Now, during this process, we just watch them. We leave them alone until they are completely down and still for several minutes. As you can see, Randy starts to lay down at the top of the hill, but this saga doesn't end. Randy ends up getting up, coming back down the hill, staggering around, and he finally lays down a second time. Our son tries to put a mask on him, and he gets up a third time, and he ends up in the sun. Once a deer is down, we put a mask over their eyes, as it is suggested that they may still be able to see some of what's going on around them. If their eyes are covered, they will most often lay still and not try to get up. Now, we never leave a deer unattended when it's sedated. You can see in this clip that there are other deer watching what's going on. Those bucks will attack a deer that's down. They'll stomp on it or they'll attack it with their antlers. In this pen, we had closed the gate here to prevent any other deer from getting inside near Randy. Being the dominant buck in the pen that is sedated, the younger bucks, Randy's sons, could have tried to attack him and hurt him had we left him unattended and unprotected. We moved Randy to the shade to help keep him a little bit cooler and make it easier for us to work on him. We gave him antibiotics to help his body fight the infection of EHD. After taking measurements of his antlers, and we found that he was about 6 inches smaller overall than he was last year. We are attributing this difference to the fact that he stayed in ruts so much longer than in years past, and he also had a larger number of does to cover in breeding than in the past. We really don't think our nutrition regimen has made a significant difference in his lack of growth this year, as it hasn't changed significantly in the past 2 years. After giving Randy a reversal shot, it takes several minutes for him to wake up. He usually has to be prompted to get back up on his feet. Deer will be a little loopy for a few hours after waking up from sedation, but you want them up on their feet so they can walk off the sedation and have access to plenty of water. I am very happy to report that Randy is feeling much better, and he's back to enjoying snacks of apple slices and pears again, and for that we are thankful. It's never easy to lose an animal that you care for, but it does happen, even on a deer farm. Sometimes you may medicate an animal and do everything you can to help them get well, and still not have the same positive results that we have had with Randy. This is part of deer farming and the circle of life. Our 2-year-old deer have left our farm also in recent days. In order for them to be moved, they have to be sedated as well. Each deer has his antlers measured before being transported to his new location. This year, our biggest 2-year-old scored 205 and 2/8. So we come to the end of this year's antler watch. We have followed Randy from no antlers to an amazing crown of antlers in just a matter of a few short months. It is amazing the growth and change that happens in that short period of time. We have loved sharing Randy with you, and we hope to be able to do it again next year. Thank you for coming along with us on this journey. We hope you have enjoyed following along on Randy's journey and seeing a little bit of life on our deer farm. Hopefully, you may have even learned a little bit more about these beautiful animals that we are entrusted to care for. Thank you for taking time out of your days to spend a few minutes in each video with us. We don't take that for granted. If you have enjoyed our content and Randy's journey, please consider subscribing or maybe even sharing to your social media channels. By giving our video a thumbs up, YouTube knows to push this content out to others who might enjoy it as well, and we can educate more people about deer and deer farming. As always, I must tell you that we abide by all laws, rules, guidelines, and regulations set out by the state of Alabama in accordance to the care and growth of our animals. Until Antler Watch 2023, see you in our next video, friends.